Welcome, everyone. This is your Zoom host, Julia Ramadan. I just want to say that we're waiting a couple minutes while people join us. There was a tight window between our last session and this parallel session, so I hope that you can take this opportunity to go over, the housekeeping rules. Make sure that you're 100% set with Zoom, even though these days I think everyone is quite familiar with the app. I also remind you all to select your preferred language. There's an interpretation icon at the bottom of your screen. If you'd like to hear the presentation in English in its original language, please select English. And if you'd like to hear a translation of it, I believe if you had selected French, you're hearing now our interpreter translating what I'm saying to you. So let's wait a couple minutes. And in the meantime, as you wait, please let us know where you're based. Write in the chat box and make sure to make use of it. We want to keep a lively chat box so that we have a discussion. Let us know where you're based, and please let us know what is something that you'd like to learn from this session based on the description. What drew you to this specific session? Let us know your thoughts. We'll begin in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning to people who are from different regions. Welcome to this session, very exciting session on strengthening the capacity of local institutions. And in this session, we'll be looking at strengthening the capacity of the relevant institution for a sustainable increase of water storage. Just before I go into introducing our presenters, colleagues, I think we all know how critical and important water is, particularly to pastoral communities, so communities living in arid and semi-arid areas in the continent and even beyond. And often the use of water is linked to a number of other issues. And I think these lessons that will be shared through this good practice that will be presented is really critical. I would like us to really pay attention as we go along. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce first my very good friends, Uli and Petra, who are from Germany. You can see both of them there. But let me go a little bit onto their bio so that you get to really know them well. For Petra, during our studies in entomology and psychology, she focused her work a lot on ethnographic films, and that brought her to doing a PhD, which then landed her into German television work. She worked a lot as a film producer, broadcaster. She combined her work with our anthropological know-how, with our filmmaking experience, and together with our husband, Uli, they established together her husband, Uli Swart, is a geographer and environmental consultant. Together, the two of them established this video production company, which they will share with you the more details on that. Besides the film work and the TV work, and also with BMZ, with the number of NGOs, Uli and Petra founded their own organization, their own NGO, which is called Up for Change, EV, in 2008. And this NGO has projects now in Brazil, India, and also in Kenya. And in the year 2016 and year 2017, they implemented, with help of BMZ, their first EEM.org pilot projects in northern Kenya. And last year and this year, they have been working with GIZ on this ebook in Karamoja. And this is where I think a lot of lessons will be shared with you. And with that bio, I would like to urge all the participants to listen to in this session very carefully, share your thoughts, your question, your clarification when we start the session. And before we start it, I want to hand over the floor to Uli and Petra. Over to you, Uli and Petra.
Hello, nice to meet you all. I just want to introduce how we do our presentation. We will do 2 videos about the context, our methodological approach, and the implementation. After that, we have a short slideshow about testimonials, which show the impact. Sorry, we couldn't do more because of Corona. It blocked us. And the last slideshow will be about our conclusions. What is our experience and our conclusion? That's it. Can we go for the videos?
My name is Uli, and together with my wife Petra, we are founders of EAM.org. In the last 8 years, we have worked with pastoralists and done more than 10 ebooks. Have a look how we are working with the GIZ in Karamoja, Uganda.
The Ugandan government has built more than 80 valley tanks in Karamoja. The task of this GIZ project, funded by EU and BMZ, was to make sure that they are cared for and used properly.
With our anthropological approach, we collect informations from the communities to create cultural-based multimedia content. For the videos, we are looking for a main character to represent the communities. We want normal people who explain things their way, as we are committed to a bottom-up approach.
Let me introduce to you the first ebook we developed for GIZ. It is called Water Source Protection at the Valley Tank, a practical ebook for pastoralists. This module deals especially with technologies and activities to be implemented at valley tanks to reduce erosion and evaporation, as well as to increase water quality and quantity. I'm going to lead you through parts of the ebook. The second page gives some explanations, like how to go to the chapters video, because we always start with a video first. We have to keep in mind that the target group are pastoralists who are illiterate. So we work a lot with videos and with audios so that they don't need to read, that they can listen and see the pictures. Here we go to the very first page if we want to repeat. And down here we have the topic or task area. Everything is in English as well as in the local language Karamojang. When I go here, people can listen.
Topic or task area.
We start with the first video.
Arega gro Meroni Moses. Alo guruguri. Arai ya ga dorna chucha bena. Eka koko na kong Maria. Kalau mise Christine. Kiria ke mone alo dia yang ai, alo dia na mata nya grong baren. E kwa yong. Ewe kia na mata eru yang baren. Alo ko mwedingi jui ko tera api ko mwedingi alo rekang. Reka tiki ko agrong baren. Kajo ya kendra pa na ngana mata na dia. Atala kari turia. Au ni kwa de ngau tu da jongo to ngau tu ataka na kai pina dia lana. Ke wo wa. Ipore wa ta na ipinu go. Ya mai dio na bodang. Mamu nyi kwa na ke pitolo ka kana rewa nga kipigo tido. Lala buka unti gara lokonane. Nyukuana ke pitongolo. Ni arai ke wolo wa kutubuana tikudi anguna dadang.
Now we have a group discussion. How did the Valley Tank change your life? It's a very easy question, and we just want like a warming up to integrate everybody from the community to take part in this discussion. We want the women, we want the children and the men to discuss how the Valley Tank changed their lives. Okay. Next video.
Tala karet nyari ngetana dia set. Yang garangin di luar wiara mata na. Kaya kepetingnya kan keto. Kotere torba mata na dia. Yuing garuda adang emalete ngebaren.
Evaporation is the process by which water is turned from its liquid state into vapor.
Apuri oringa kipi. Ingede pitengolo ilo chokino toringa kipi tora ote kuam. Ena kininga kipi apuri orera amwane de ka akop ke kuam. Night epitengolo irata kinere apuri oringa kipi era kidopo ngeketolo kipetet ka tapar. Kotere kirata kintotore kuam ka ekingara kinto angito limon dang.
Providing the shade to reduce the heat.
Now the content is getting a little bit more complicated, and we try to break it down into pieces. Therefore, we have now symbols explained. Heat from the sun leads to evaporation. That was in the video. Here we have water. With the sun, it comes to evaporation. Wind leads to evaporation. We have the water, we have the wind. Together with the wind, the water will evaporate. Build the word evaporation. This is a task people who don't know how to read and to write love, because they can see here E, and now they can touch and try and look for the E. It's this one. They can go for the V. Here we go. If I go for an A and I take, for example, this B, it will be wrong. But what we always can do, we always can go back and we can go again and we try it again. As cultural anthropologists, our part was to gather informations about successes and challenges.
Ana lo pare dia ngola na kishinet sabu ka unti matany tarana iti edisiki napak de jok apane ana tarinya dang le liye tanga gipi ana tarin ke to dang do pita to kana ke to yakale ana tare li goi dang do pita kawaya itete da ka ukanga tete le nyangula do pita kala ini ngulu Karai ulu reta mintere lila kani lila kamata. Ngole ki amata naga awadio bo ane bo kai ki anga tundang awadio epekeru. Na ikwana amata naga maturoba amata na matika do pe ni dan ke to kanya. Na yi ngole ki ango epone to kana ngole yi karna. Ngole ki ango e maja nga tungo itinda dan mamo nyamaja lo porto ani de kamaja na tanguna isi. Na ya amata naga Amake na totika na ulu yogi yete kani nidilak kori danga kemona ude ngole ki akamona unda.
Okay. Good or badly operated valley tank? That's the task. So, what do you think? Is it the smiley because it's a good one, or is it a bad one? I think we go to the bad one, and that's correct. Then I can move forward. Good or badly operated valley tank? This valley tank is just perfect, so we go for the smiley. Here you have the perfect combination of a photo and a graphic. The graphic shows the planting area where the people should plant the trees and how it will look like in future. These are only 2 trees, but here you will see all the trees around the valley tank, which will work perfectly as windbreakers, so that the evaporation will be low and the animals will have enough water during drought. After the different parts like the video and the explanations, now we come to the tasks. So the task is where to plant the trees, and the trees have to be planted here, here and here. Definitively not here, here or here. Some people believe that you cannot regulate access to a water source, as thirsty animals will forcefully enter no matter what. During our field research, we got to know that this is not the case. According to traditional knowledge, elders organize the watering of animals in a very clever way to avoid overuse and destruction of water sources.
Aranya ka kro na nroje de buapa na wele. Ola ka bong. Ayai chona matatang na ralo rege. Na lo yoro. Ekwa anya ka ko ikurugi te ka tukani awi lo kurukali. Eta eke yokon lo mo paul agwal. Ne piteli mo ngira wange yoko potanga itu na matatana. Egeli nya ke gel. Nya chama ta to mo na undang na gitu. Kwane chauni akolong. Iru yowa nya matana. Ikwangna de geru yere wanga itu abachar. Ye pite ru mere wanga gitu na chauni akolong. Chama na kiloi. Amata nga itu nye pewa na kwarna torno una je. Ani mo ina bota mata una je na banguna ronto. Ye pite ngolo mwere do kan turwana nga gipi. Jala na kiloi. Tamata una kwa de torno una kai. Ani mo ina bo ronta una kwa de tamata una kai.
This is a good example how to transfer traditional knowledge to the actual organization of watering herds at a newly built valley tank. Our aim is to spread this best practice via our multimedia tool with examples and tasks. This graphic shows an everyday situation at a valley tank. 4 herds are coming to drink, but we know the ramp cannot be used by all herds at the same time. The following photos show how young herders are waiting with their animals. We have herd 1 and herd 2, we have herd 3, and we have herd 4. This is how it works, giving the herds a drinking order, first in, first out. The red will be the first, the blue the second, green third, and the yellow one is the last one. And here comes the task. Which herd can drink first? The task is in Karamojong as well.
Which herd can drink first?
If I choose the yellow one, it will be wrong. If I choose the red one, it will be correct. I can go back and I can go again and choose the correct one. I go on. Another task. Which herd is last? It will be the yellow one.
We believe in a constant feedback loop. That is why we always test the first version in the communities to make sure that everybody likes it. Otherwise, we can change easily because of the digital nature of the material. Our aim is to reach everybody in the community, like children, adults, and elders. During these interactions, we get to know candidates who could teach the content. The ones we ultimately choose, together with the community, should be young, smart, engaged, illiterate, responsible, communicative, and they should show teaching talent. We choose one man and one woman in each community. They will get a special 8-day training. At the end, each community gets one iPad containing our tailor-made ebooks, a cover against dust and water, a solar charger, and a transport bag. With this equipment, the tablet teachers are mobile, independent from electricity supply, and can teach whenever they have time and wherever they want.
I like this ebook because I can see the pictures and listen to the words at the same time. This makes me not to forget the lesson too easily. I like the ebooks because we learn how to work as a team, and secondly, we learn how to water the animals in an organized way, and lastly, even the children, when they watch, they acquire the knowledge and practice it in the future. These ebooks teach us how to read and write, even if we have never been to school. I love the ebooks because they teach us to control soil erosion and evaporation through tree and grass planting. Additionally, we also learn how to protect our valley tank using the fence. The reason why I like these ebooks is that they have shown us farming practices. Even our young children who have been here with us and who have attended the lessons will acquire the necessary knowledge and put it into practice when they grow up.
EAM.org, True to Life, interactive multimedia learning tools.
Appreciation of cultural values and traditional knowledge are important for a successful bottom-up approach and helps to strengthen the identity of the target group.
Closing the digital gap should start from the bottom in order to reach a digital infrastructure for everybody.
EAM.org provides digital solutions for PCs, laptops, tablets and smartphones.
The ebooks can be used in the field and other educational settings like schools.
Digital multimedia ebooks are a perfect extension to any development project.
Thank you for your attention.
Okay, very good. Colleagues, plenty of interactions coming out of the chat box. Keep them coming. And I think we will open the floor now for comments and questions. But I think before we open, let's start with those that we have already received, which I would like to direct to Uli and Petra to try to address. We will look at the comments later, but let's start with the question. Anagri is asking, who decided the place for the tank, and how were the local authorities involved, as well as women and men? This is the first question. I think, can I say two of them, or you take one at a time? Which is the best way for you? Maybe we do one at a time, okay? Okay, go ahead to respond to Anagri.
Uli and Petra, your mic's muted, so just quickly unmute and we can all hear your replies. Thank you.
Okay.
Now it's on.
Here we go.
Okay, thank you for this question. We came into this GIZ NVAS project fairly late in the last 11 months. So the valley tanks were already built, sometimes even 4 years before. And it was organized based on a handbook of the Ugandan government, which took the involvement of the communities in the last steps. So it was first decided on a kind of scientific way, and I cannot comment on this because I wasn't involved. Our task was dealing with the situation. You may have seen one valley tank which looks really deteriorated, and it was only 3 years ago, and another valley tank which was fairly good operated. So we had to face this situation, and that's why we decided to take this bottom-up approach to involve the people. This investment by the Ugandan government was fairly big. Building 80 valley tanks, it's a lot of money. And we tried to work with the valley tanks GIZ is working on in terms of planting trees and so on. We were kind of supporting the work of GIZ in teaching the communities around the valley tank. I hope I have asked the question correctly.
And of course, it's much better to involve the community where they want to have the valley tank placed, because it can be near them, the women can go there without problems. So we made, in our research, we got to know that it's much better to involve them. In some they have been involved, in others that haven't been involved.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Uli. There are quite a number of them coming. There's this one from John. John Gathago is appreciating that thanks for the great work and the approach. But he has a question. How could that be scaled as a knowledge product to school-going children? This is the question. It's a bit related to the one Lars is asking. I want you to take them together. Lars is asking, have you also applied the ebook approach for alternative education out of school? For example, in conflict situation, and now that we are in lockdown, schools are not open in COVID, you can answer that together. Over to you.
Okay. Oh, actually, we started in 2015 with the idea to do adult education for pastoralists. They ask us if they want to learn English. So in our team, there is a headmaster from a school. There is an academic who is doing e-learning, has done for his e-learning at the university for all of his professional life. And we have a media designer. So we are always focused on the idea to spread this idea of ebooks in educational settings like schools. And we would love to do it, but as we are coming from the bottom, we don't have this much of connection to the ministry levels where they put this into practice. But I think when they see that it is working on the bottom level, they might adopt it in future.
And in Loyangalani, we already had a school class where we teach them in their holidays. We made some sessions with our ebooks. The ebooks you will find on our website. We don't have them here right now, but on our website. And the pupils learned as well. So it was not wasted at all. And that is our aim, to reach more or less everybody, because everybody can learn something. And if the children in the school learn about pastoralist life, would be even better to appreciate pastoralists more.
I would like to add another idea. We were focusing on the target groups, and we decided to take the digital way and the iPads and all of this because it works well with them. We didn't focus so much on the seamless infrastructure from the ministerial level to the bottom. So we have learned this, and we are trying now to develop an infrastructure from the bottom up. That means we have ebooks which works on Apple. We can transform them to Windows PCs and even to Android devices like smartphones. by doing so, it's possible that in the whole chain of command, so to say, from the ministry to the bottom, the same material can be used. But this is what we are thinking for the future.
Yeah. We had time in the Corona area, so we had time to develop it as well for these Android tablets or smartphones, as well as for Windows. So that would be an integrated approach.
Okay, Uli and Petra. Frederick here would like to know about the water catchment protection in terms of waste contamination and sanitation issues, how it is addressed in this process. Over to you.
Unfortunately, we haven't addressed it yet. We came into this project in the last 11 months of the project, and we had to do it in a small period of 8 months. And we have got a kind of list what we had to do. And this question of contamination and sanitation was not addressed. There are plans to build toilet next to belly tanks, but it is not done. I see the importance of this. And we have one ebook where we focus on erosion, especially by charcoal production, which really deteriorates the catchment area. But we have no specific address to the contamination issues and the sanitation issues. This is really a shortfall, but
not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, we know it is work under development. It is continuous learning, which is the most important thing, and that is how to engage communities. But there's a question here from Lars again, as he was asking, are the ebooks given to the communities?
Yes.
Are they charged by Solar or
yes.
Yeah? Is there any charge given to the community? Over to you.
You see here, for example, we have this solar charger. We have the iPads with the ebooks on it, and we have a bag, transport bag. This was in the video already. With this together, the tablet teacher who we train in a 7 or 8 day training, they go to their communities, and the women can teach the women and the children. The men can go to the fodder or outside with the animals. They teach their colleagues. So they do it hopefully more or less by themselves. It's a problem with this project because Corona came in between. So just when we wanted to teach the tablet teachers, we already had our flight ticket, but we were not allowed to go anymore to Uganda. So we are stopped here, but it's planned like in Loyangalani. We choose these tablet teachers and they get the equipment and they are independent of anybody.
Okay, colleagues, dear participants, some of you maybe are connected with your phones, mobile, difficult to type in the chat. If you can raise your hands, I'm also monitoring there. Then you can have a verbal, question or clarification. But as I look there, here there are some comments that I would like to share with you, Lars. And I feel from Lars here, he was saying, that they are, of course, increasingly concerned about lack of water access and piloting water severity index with UNICEF. And they have analyzed this work in relation to drought impact in India, El Nino. So basically appreciating this kind of work where you work with the communities. This is a comment from UNICEF colleagues. And John was saying here, great, this would also reduce conflict as a result of shared resources. What is taught in own language goes to the heart of the people. So let me monitor here again. Is there any hands raised? Please, we still have a few minutes, 7 minutes. We can interact. I think it's a very interesting practice where we are really engaging directly with the communities. But as we wait, as we wait, Uli and Petra, I have a question for you as a moderator. If you can help the listeners, how long it take to develop an ebook? I would like you to answer that alongside what is the difference of your approach to regular capacity building sort of workshop? Over to you.
Thank you. I go for the first question. How long does it take from the first idea to our ethnographic research and filming, etc.? The first testing, the local test with the locals, and the training. We have the experience. We do it in 2 months for one ebook.
Okay. For the second question, the difference. I would like to quote a person from northern Kenya. We did together with him this project in the background, and he told us from another project he had done a capacity workshop, and he was thinking it would be great to have another one by the end of the project. And he said, with these ebooks, the content stays with the community and they can learn whenever they want. So the analog approach to do a workshop and hope that it is not forgotten after a period of time is, from my perspective, second best. It's best when the content stays in the community with the tablet teachers or however you call them. And the other thing is we have shown that we develop the content with the people. Yeah. So there is ownership in this. Yeah. So that's why we are so convinced about our approach. But we learned the hard way that it doesn't is not enough to have the support from the people. We need the support from the local government, from local NGOs, and from the ministry. And there we have to work. Otherwise, it is a good idea and nothing more. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm still monitoring here. If anybody has raised hands, I don't see here. Okay. I have one last question for you as a moderator, as people think through process what has been shared. What to you, Uli and Petra, are the key obstacles if someone has to apply this approach? Colleagues in West Africa, maybe other colleagues from other regions. What are the key challenges or obstacles that someone would face in trying to scale up this good practice? Over to you.
Okay. As I said just before, I think to convince the government people that it is worthwhile doing it, because obviously it is an investment in the beginning, and you need to build up this seamless digital infrastructure from the bottom up to the ministry level. I don't think that the fact that we as Europeans do the work is an obstacle. I would also love to see people from the different countries doing the work we are doing. And as we are fairly old at the moment, it would be great to find followers to do the work we are doing. And we are hoping to find them in the near future.
And I think we already got Lars. We have to stay in contact with Lars because he's interested in our alternative education options.
Okay.
And we have quite a lot of ebooks on our website. Just have a look at it, Lars, when you go to www.eam.org. Okay.
So, to put it short, the lack of digital infrastructure is the main obstacle.
Okay, very good. Any more comments? I see, comments here, people appreciating, and contacts for sure. This is the reason why we have this good practice sharing event. We need to link people up and share and scale up some of the good things that are happening. colleagues, if there are no more, we still have few minutes. I don't want to quickly rush into closing. You know, we spent a bit of time organizing. If there are any clarification, interactions that, you know, bring them out. Uli and Petra are here. I don't want you to go back thinking, I should have asked that. This is the moment. The floor is open. John is asking about the, he would like to see the links to more of the information and further collaboration. He would also like to try with this Apatana Nairobi Water Fund in Kenya. So the contacts of Uli and Petra are there. I think the links to their website is there. And also through this share fair, this will be shared widely. I'm sure Julia will later let us know how we can access some of this information as we go
down. If you go quick down, yes, thank you. Perfect. There are all our, go ahead, there are all our ebooks we did, and for Lars it will be more interesting. We did about conflict management, about literacy, numeracy, like these ones. Yeah. Here we go. And maybe if there are no questions more, I would like to thank in an official way to Paul, Julia, and Christine and the whole team for their big support they gave to us for preparing and doing everything in this fair share. Thank you.
Thank you. And Uli, any final words before I say final word to the participants?
There is one more question. What are your ethnographic challenges? Well, the thing which comes into my mind immediately is I've never had enough time to be with the people. But otherwise, when I'm together with the people, I love to stay there. And for me, there was no problems because we are interacting on a basis which works somehow. So there are only the challenge of time. I would love to stay there for 1 week, for 1 year, but that's not possible.
We were lucky to find always good translators.
Yeah.
So we have to thank GIZ as well to provide us with the necessary means to do this work in such a short period of time.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uli and Petra, for this wonderful presentation and what you've shared with us. I know there's a lot behind that you cannot say all here. What goes on behind doing this work is a lot of great work. And to the participant, really thank you for being in this session. I think was a nice session. Lots of information are there that you can still relate with. And I think this afternoon we have more sessions. Maybe I need to give quick, just a minute or so to Julia, if how people can access this presentation and the different videos that has been prepared and shared through this session. Julia, if you're there.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you so much to Uli and Petra. I reciprocate your thanks. It's been a fantastic session, and it's so important to bring e-learning and to front and center stage. I want to compliment Paul and let you guys know that we have one final session of the Share Fair. We've come a long way, and we hope you've enjoyed all the different sessions and learned more along the way. In the chat box, you'll soon find the link appear. Again, thank you so much for your active engagement.
Thanks a lot, Julia. And once more, thank you, Uli and Petra. And I think our session, we will end it here. And bye-bye to everyone.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, colleagues. Yeah.